In this video, I will show you how to decorate your sweater with a knitted Christmas tree and transform it into a unique Christmas jumper in just a few easy steps. If you have an old favorite sweater or a new plain one that could benefit from a fancy twist, grab it and let's get started. You don't need many tools or supplies, just a bit of leftover yarn in green color, a small amount of beads of your choice, and some colorful buttons. You will also need sewing thread, a needle, and a pair of knitting needles. First, you will need to knit 3 triangles in different sizes. You can knit them in stockinette stitch or try a few textured stitches. I knitted mine in gaze stitch for the largest triangle, moss stitch for the middle one, and seed stitch for the smallest. I have added row by row instructions in the description below. You can adjust their size by adding stitches or changing the yarn weight. Mine are knitted in aran yarn with 5mm needles. Remember to leave a long yarn tails so you can use it to attach your Christmas tree to your sweater. Next, decorate each triangle with beads, sequins, buttons, or other sparkly beads. For the largest triangle, which forms the bottom of the tree, I used colorful round buttons in bright shades. With my sewing needle and green thread, I attached the buttons in a random order. For the middle triangle, I chose round beads. I was deciding between white pearl beads and silver beads that I had kept in my craft box. I went with the silver ones because they are slightly larger, around 5mm, and look better on knitted fabric. Using white thread, I attached the beads randomly, just as I did with the buttons. Remember to secure your thread after every few beats so they stay in place. For the smallest triangle, I used 6 mm flat polka dot craft buttons. They are smaller and less bright than the buttons on the first triangle, but I attached them the same way using white thread and a needle. By the way, if you are decorating a sweater for a child, you can use tiny jingle bells in different colors. I did this a few years ago for my daughter's Christmas top, and it looks great. Unfortunately, I couldn't find any jingle bells for my sweater this time, and I didn't want to buy extra supplies. Once all the triangles are decorated, the next step is attaching them to the sweater. I placed my knitted triangles in the center of the front of the sweater. You can pin them in place so they don't move while you stitch. Using a large tapestry needle and the yarn tails I left earlier, I stitched each triangle to the sweater all the way around. I started with the largest triangle at the bottom, making small stitches and being careful not to overstretch the edges. The next step, I attached the middle triangle, the same way as I did with the first one. Then I attached the smallest one. Remember to move all yarn ends to the wrong side and secure them. The next step is optional. It's decorating the sweater with sequins or other craft supplies. This depends on your idea, time, and how festive you want your jumper to be. For mine, I used cream-colored sequins and attached them with 2mm round pearl beads. Originally, I wanted to use glass seed beads, but they turned out too small for my needle, so I stuck with the pearl beads. First, I attached a flower-shaped sequin at the top of the Christmas tree. You could replace this with a tiny bow, a star, a fancy button, or even a jingle bell, whatever you have in your craft box. At first, I thought I would only add a few sequins around the top of the tree, but I enjoyed the process so much that I decorated the entire front of my sweater. And here it is, my decorated Christmas sweater. I'm really looking forward to wearing it this holiday season. I hope you enjoyed this little tutorial and I can't wait to see your sweaters, tops or any other Christmas clothing. Let me know what you think about this idea in the comments. See you in my next video and don't forget to subscribe to my channel. That's all for now. Until next time, happy crafting!